Gaffer, first home pre-season friendly against Queen's Park Rangers, obviously a step up in opposition. What are you looking to get out of this particular fixture?
It's going to, like you say, it'll be a tough game. We've played 245s now. We're stepping up to 60. Everyone will get 60 minutes in the game. You know, it'll be a good game for us. It'll be a good test. And it's nice to be back at the ABAX. We haven't been there for a while, so we're looking forward to that. A lot of the new lads can't wait to play there. So it's going to be a good test for us. A really good test, you know, against a quality championship team.
Are you still looking at making sure that everyone gets the fitness as opposed to a particular system or the players that are going to be in that system? Is it just a case of getting 60 minutes into them still?
It's all about 60 minutes. That's what it's all about, fitness. We will look at two different formations. We will play one formation in the first 60 minutes and a different one in the next 60 minutes. So we'll have a look at two different ways of playing. We haven't done that as of yet, but we've worked on it today. So it's important that we have a few ways of playing. Which we will have. We'll have, you know, 2 or 3 ways of playing and changing in game and stuff like that. So it's important we do that. But like I say, mainly in pre-season, it's all about not picking up any injuries, getting through the games, getting the fitness in. You know, recovery runs, long runs, bursting runs into the box and recovering, and just trying to get your fitness in as much as you can. Match fitness in these, because you can train as much as you want, but the games are the most important thing.
As a manager, are you quite apprehensive during pre-season? Because obviously you want to give everyone a chance to get minutes under their belt. When tackles are flying in, is that the last thing as a manager you want to see, or do you like that competitive angle?
No, I am competitive, but I have been worried in a couple of games. I've seen a couple of boys coming off. Chrissy Forrester's come off. He got hit with the ball really. I knew it wasn't going to be anything too bad. I seen Guion limping off the other day. I was a little bit worried, but Guion's okay. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful. We don't want anybody missing the start of the season. At the minute, we're good. We've got Jack Marriott back with us. We've got Harry Anderson back with us. We won't have Leonardo. Leo's got some family commitments and some things, personal things that he needs to attend to, which is no problem. So nice to have those two back, and you know, they'll hopefully get 60 minutes. We'll keep an eye on them during the game.
Are you still looking at trialists at this stage? Have people still got the opportunity to impress you during pre-season, or is it a case of trying to make sure that squad's as close knit as you want it to be?
Yeah, we will look at trialists. We'll still look. You know, that's 100%. We'll always do that. There may be one coming tomorrow that we may look at. We're just waiting for a phone call on that one, that he may play in the first 60 minutes. If not, you know, listen, I'm happy with what I've got at the minute. You know, I think the young lads who've come in and played in pre-season games have all done well. You know, you've seen Freestone and Borg and Penfold and Cartwright. You know, them 4. You've seen the 2 young lads coming on, and Gurney and Barker as well. So it's good to get them involved with this. They get a taste of it. They know what it's about. You know, and I think that's been a real pleasing point in the 2 games as well.
Yeah, I think in terms of players' performances in pre-season, as people giving you sort of nudge and said, like, you don't want to be playing him, you want to be playing me. That's the kind of thing you want in pre-season. Some players stepping up to the plate you perhaps weren't expecting to put in the level of for performance that they have.
Well, the competition's gone up, definitely. You see in the attacking positions we've got four strikers now. Be comfortable with either 2 of them playing in the team. We've got 4 midfield players, you know, Doherty, Grant, Forrester, Chettle. I'd be comfortable with either, you know, 2 of those playing in my team. So they're all pushing themselves. They all know it's competition. They know nobody's set in stone to be in the team yet, and I think that's healthy at a football club. We had that last year, but we had people who didn't want to push themselves to get in the team. We had people who wanted to blame everybody else for the reason why they're not in the team, when they need to look at themselves and what they're doing during the week in training. So I don't think we've got that now. I think we've got people who want to get in the team, but if they're not in the team, they'll help the people who are in the team. That's one thing we've got. But again, it's pre-season. Everyone's going to get 60 minutes tomorrow. It's not about a strong team and a weak team. It's the team is mixed again. You know, and we'll look at it that way.
Yeah, Michael Doughty up against his former club. David Oldfield, of course, up against his former club. So I guess those 2 are very much looking forward to it.
They are, yeah. I haven't really spoke to Michael about it. I think I just let him get on with this game, really. You know, he's been there. Michael was there from 11 or 12, so he's got a strong affinity for the club, and I know it was a massive decision for him to come here. But you know, credit to him. He wants to go and he wants to just go and play football. And I seen Ian Holloway yesterday at the managers meeting, and he said, you know, what a boy you've got, what a player you've got. he was really he was not really down, but he was almost like, you know, a little sad that he had to let him go. But credit to Ian and credit to Michael that he wanted to go and play, you know, competitive football again in League One, and not sit around on the bench at QPR or get the odd game. So great for him. And David, yeah, you know, David got a good move there from his time at Burton with Jimmy Hasselbank and Jimmy Flood Hasselbank, and you know, unfortunately he didn't stay too long, but as in football, different opportunities come up and we're delighted to have him.
Yeah, and in terms of the back of himself, obviously, because people have left, obviously Dave Fowler is now the under-18s manager, Sam Darlow assisting him in that role. Important, I suppose, to get that structure right now going into the season as opposed to waiting too long.
Yeah, definitely. When we found out, you know, that Sims could be moving to the FA, Jack could be moving on to another Premier League club that he's quite close in his heart to. You know, the sports scientist is moving on to Swansea. You know, the first thing I said to the chairman is at least I'm developing people. You know, we're developing good coaches here. But yeah, listen, it is what it is. I think when that happens and people want to move on, then you can't stand in their way. You know, that's the nature of the beast, really. So good to have a ready-made replacement. And Dave Farrell, he was the first name that came to my lips when I heard that Jack was going to be leaving. He's wanted the job, Faz. He's made no bones about that. He's wanted it for the last year and a half. I think he'll bring a whole new discipline into the under-18s. I think they won't be able to get away with anything with him. Faz is a good coach. They enjoy working with him. Sam Darlow, listen, I don't know too much about Sam, but I know Faz is really comfortable with him. I know Nick is. So it's good for us that we've got ready-made replacements there. And I think the two will do a good job. You know, I think the youth team have started to produce more players coming through the youth team. We've started to give them more of a chance in the first team, and ultimately that moves people on to bigger and better jobs, doesn't it? You know, so when you start bringing people through from the 18s into the first team, people want to know why it's happening. So good luck to them all. But I think Faz and Sam will do a great job.
And just finally, the Checkatrade Trophy, obviously we spoke about the fact that Southampton joined us, Northampton and Cambridge, the two local derbies. Is that something that excites you as a manager, and you would expect your players to be excited to be playing competitive games in that particular format of the trophy?
Well, we myself and you were at the draw, weren't we? And you know, they were saying about that teams didn't really buy into it last year, and you know what, we probably didn't as a club, you know, and we maybe took it a little bit too easy, and we fielded a lot of weakened teams in it, and we got battered by Norwich, then we fielded a weakened team. But I mean, the competition is what it is. I've won it as a player. It was Johnson's Paint at the time. I've got to the final of it as a player and got beaten it. So I've been there twice to Wembley, and honestly, it's a tremendous place to go. Wembley's an unbelievable place to go, and it doesn't come around very often. Do you know what I mean? You probably don't get that chance to get to Wembley, you know. And I can understand fans' frustration with it. I really can. But one thing I will say is that we are going to try and go as far and win the competition. That's what we're going to try and do this year. And I think it just gives us a better incentive that we've got Cambridge and Northampton. We haven't played Cambridge for a lot of years, so I think the fans will be looking forward to that one. They should be. I know I am. I know the players are. You know, as soon as they seen the draw, the boys were, you know, really delighted with it. I hope it gets a lot more fans for the Northampton game. Yeah, and obviously the Southampton game as well. So, you know, they've produced a lot of players over the years through their academy, so you'll see some of the finest youngsters in the country coming to the ABAX, and we want to try and progress as far as we can in the tournament. We want to get through this group and see if we can take it all the way and get the boys a day at Wembley and give the club a day at Wembley, because I know the chairman's incentivised it a bit for the players. They will have a nice little bonus if they win it. So it's something we want to try and go as far as we can in the competition. People will have their doubts about it, but our only focus is trying to beat Northampton, beat Cambridge, and progress into the next round.